Look at the Torah. Look at the Torah, Parsha Sa, page 34. Let's see, 10 lines in the top of the page. Okay, now Rebbe is explaining the difference between what happened to Kriyas Yamsuf, what will happen when Moshiach comes with Nar Paras. So he says, Matan Torah was the revelation of doing mitzvahs, which is a revelation of Atzilus and Tabriya. Therefore, you needed the Kriyas Yamsuf, and it was split into 12 things because of the Shvatim and Briya. And what happened is that Atzilus revealed itself in Briya. On the other hand, Nar Paras is going to be divided into 7 because that corresponds with the Ovis and Imoris, which is the level of Atzilus. And then, because we're talking about the secrets of Torah, so then what's going to happen is higher than Atzilus is revealed in Atzilus. Then through that is able to become the revelation of Pnimis HaTorah, the reasons of Torah, which is his Galus Mechem Stima, which is the revelation of, again, higher than Atzilus, Keser into Atzilus. Masha'enkin Torah Saniglas, but the revealed Torah that we have today, Mechabad Zah comes from the intellect of Zah, not from the intellect of Keser. In order for this level of Keser to be revealed in Atzilus, to go through in the dry land, in the Nahar, not Yam, but Nahar, which is the level of Chochmah, then like this, Kriyas Yamsuf accomplish Atzilus comes into Briya. What will happen when Mashiach comes is going to be a level of Chochmah Stima, Chochmah of Keser, is going to be revealed not only in Atzilus, it's going to come down into Biyah also, into Briya Yitzir Nasiyah. In Parshas Bereishis, then Zeloshen, this is what he says. Nay, that's known, Ki Pardis Mesaken Abiyah. Pardis, which is the secrets of Torah, which is even higher than Atzilus, rectifies Atzilus, say Mitakin, Atzilus, Pshat, Remez, Rusod, Mesaken Biyah, whatever, Akan Losheni. Or Pirish, Mesaken Biyah. What does it mean? That this level fixes Biyah. What do you mean it fixes Briya Yitzir Nasiyah? Shelo yeh b'chin is pirut. There shouldn't be any level of separation. Al gam kim b'chin is bittul k'mei b'atzilus. Okay, to explain this, what it means is very simple. We learned about Nahar Yitzir Me'eden, Lashkis Sagam. Okay, the river came out of Eden, and then Mishami Parid. From there it became Pirut. Into 4 levels that the Alter Rebbe explained before, correspond with the 4 machnes of the Shechina, which is in the world of Briya, or the 12 Shvatim divided into 4 camps, right, which is also the level of Briya, like we learned. So you have the level of Briya normally is Mishami Parid. It becomes a level of pirud, it becomes a level of separation, lack of bittul. When the Ramaz writes that this Gilui is going to be Misakin Biyah, what do you mean is going to fix the level of Briya Yitzir Nasiyah? Because once this level of Meichen Stima, of Keser, will be revealed not only in Atzilus, but even into Briya Yitzir Nasiyah, that means that level will feel a level of elukus, which is definitely going to cause bittul. Bittul is when you don't feel elukus. So Briya is yesh mi'ayin, so it doesn't feel elukus because it's a level of yesh. It's not bittul. But when Atzilus and definitely Keser is revealed into Biyah, into Briya Yitzir Nasiyah, then for sure it causes a complete level of bittul.
So how can Biyah handle such a revelation?
What?
How can Biyah handle such a revelation?
Because again, when it comes from a level which is above bittul and lack of bittul, then it can make bittul and non-bittul synonymous. It can make it coincide with each other, coexist. Yeah. No, because, okay, Matan Torah, but it wasn't given begilui. In other words, like this. Kriyas Yamsov, like you said before, for Atzilus to be revealed in Biyah, that was the Achana to Matan Torah. This is Achana of Gilui of Mashiach. Yes, it was given at Matan Torah, but it wasn't revealed at Matan Torah. This is going to cause the Matan Torah mean it's given, not that it wasn't there. It doesn't say he's going to create it. It's going to be given. It's going to be Nizgala. Right? It's going to be a revelation of Elokus, which is going to be revealed that existed from Matan Torah, but it wasn't revealed. So now it's going to be revealed.
But at Matan Torah, Neshama popped out. So how is it happening?
Because when Mashiach comes, we're going to have all the Aveda of that we did through the last 3,500 years, which is making us a vessel to handle that Gilui. Just like when Mashiach comes, yeah, as the Rabbi writes in the first Basi Lagani, it's a medrash, right? But the Rabbi explains, Ikar Shechina means Malchus Dein Sof Lifnei HaTzimtzum. That was down here, that level left, yes? Now it's going to be, through bringing back Mashiach, right, the 7 generations, it's going to reveal the level of Elokus Lifnei HaTzimtzum. Now, Lifnei HaTzimtzum, the world couldn't handle it, therefore the world had a tzimtzum, removal, right? When Mashiach comes, that level is going to be revealed. It couldn't be revealed before. So the answer is, now that we're after Matan Torah, we have all this Aved of Torah mitzvahs, elevating the world, the Gashmis becomes Ruchnius. That's the Keli that the world will be able to handle this Gilui of Lifnei HaTzimtzum and Keser into Biyah. It's going to be able to handle it. Now, how could finite coexist with infinite? How could Bittul coexist with Yesh? Answer is, when you tap into a level above both, so then both can coexist.
So we go back to the time of
Oiseh Shalom b'mreimov. Hashem makes peace on high. Yeah, you say 3 times a day in davening and benching, whatever. Oiseh Shalom b'mreimov. So the Medrash says, what does it mean? Oiseh Shalom b'mreimov. What peace is God making up there in heaven? So he says there's a guy called Gavriel, who's the Malach of Eish, and there's a guy called Michal, who's the Malach of water. And normally fire and water cannot coexist. So basically, in essence, there's a fighting between the two. When water and fire mix, there's a fight. One either the fire evaporates the water evaporates the fire, but they cannot coexist. Yeah? Up there, Hashem makes peace between Michal and Gabriel. That's what it's Shalom b'mreim, the one that makes peace on high. Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, V'al should make peace down here. Now, how can Hashem make peace between Gabriel and Michal if they're opposites? So the answer is that the Moshe, besides it's a Gilui of a higher level, but in an understandable way, you have in the human body, there's a head and there's a heart. The head is cold intellect, cold. The heart is warm. Correct? Now, how could these two things, both vital to the existence of the human being, you can't live without a head, you can't live without a heart. How can those two organs coexist by 8 billion people in the world when they seemingly are mamish opposites, like fire and water? Mayim, the mayim, it's mokar mayim is in leches, the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya is in the head, and warmth is in the heart, and yet they coexist by 8 billion people in this generation. How could it be? So the answer is, the Gashmistic answer even. I mean, definitely Chassidus, but I'm saying, because the head in the body doesn't say, I'm a head, I'm a heart. The head doesn't feel itself, and the heart doesn't feel itself. They're all bottled to the cause of a human body, life. Now, that's why you don't feel I have a head or a heart. When we get sick, that means we're not functioning properly. All of a sudden, you have a headache, your heart hurts, you have chest pains. What does that mean? Why do you have chest pains? Because now the heart feels itself as a separate entity. The head feels itself as a separate, you get a migraine. The head feels itself, it's not bottled. When you have, we learned this, in art, different contrasting colors. Contrasting colors. In a symphony, you have contrasting instruments. Yet when they blend together in harmony, so then they coexist. How can they coexist if they're opposites? Because both, every instrument, every color, every teammate in sports, there is no me. There is no me. Once in basketball you feel me, or baseball, whatever, then you want to get all the shots and you're not going to win a game. There's no me, there's no you, there's us. That's the level of bittul that can allow opposite, contrasting things to coexist. Meaning, because they're both bottled to something above them. Life is above head and heart. When the head and the heart both feel, we have to live, and in order to live, there's no me, there's us, so then it functions, and then you're a healthy person. Makes sense? It makes dollars. Now, when you have Michal and Gabriel, so now you have like this. You have Atzilus, which is Bittul. But if you think about it, it's still 10 levels. That's why it's called Olam Atzilus, from the word He'elam. What is the concealment of Atzilus? That before, higher than Atzilus, is not even 10. It's just infinite. Now, the infinite comes into 10 infinite levels. In Atzilus. Unlimited Chochmah, Bina, Das, Chesed, V'Rot, Tzvet. Okay, so that's also a limitation. So, compared to higher than Atzilus, that level is not bittul, because it's 10 levels. Chochmah is Chochmah, and Bina is Bina, and Chesed is Chesed, and so on. So, by Kriyas Yamsuf, what happened was Atzilus revealed itself into Bria, which caused bittul. Because, therefore, it had that level of Atzilus. What's the difference between Atzilus and Bria? More bottle is Atzilus, less bittul is Bia. So when the level of Bria becomes bottle, it's the level of Atzilus. It's not like you have to have a passport from Bria to Atzilus or something. If it's more bottle, it's Atzilus. If it's less bittul, it's that's why you can have a tzaddik. Down here is at the level of Atzilus. Yeah, but he's a human being walking around. But by them, the bittul that they have to Elukus is the bittul of Atzilus. By that loss of Lavai, you're talking about not only the bittul of Atzilus and Tabiyah, you're talking about the level higher than Atzilus, which is even more bottled than Atzilus, coming down all the way into Biyah. So when the pasuk says Umalo Aretz Deyas Hashem, that means in a physical setting, the bittul is going to be not only Tatzilus, the essence of Hashem. So that's why you can have that level of bittul, of higher than Atzilus, coming even to Bria. How can it coexist, bittul and non-bittul? Because the level that's not bittul in itself is bottle. In other words, like we said, not that light dispels darkness, but the second you take away the light, the darkness is back. It actually makes darkness light. That means darkness becomes light. How could that be? When darkness and light are opposites. But when there's the revelation of something higher, when there's life, then the head and the heart are both bottom. Got it? As I say many times, if you think I know what I'm talking about, pleasant dreams. What?
That's right, this is a Purim concept. We know that. Both are the same.
That's why Lost Lavi Purim's not going to be bottled. The Yom Tov of Purim will exist. Like Chassidus explains. It doesn't mean Chas V'Shom, Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot are not going to be. Compared to the light, it's like a candle in sunlight. Okay. Yeah? So Purim, though, is such a great revelation, it's going to be a big light in sunlight that's still going to shine. So that's exactly this level. That's why when Moshiach comes, Purim is going to stay because it's this level of Elokus. Now you learn about Hanukkah, you'll find the same Gili in Hanukkah.
Because we did it.
What?
Because it came from us.
Now the Aveda is, Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, Tachlis, the level of Elokus, totally b'maseinu v'avedaseinu b'meshech zman hagolus. The revelation of Mashiach is dependent on our Aveda. Why? Because as much as we elevate the Gashmiistic world, that's how much Gilui the world's going to be able to handle. That's why the Alter Rebbe says the expression, Toli b'ma'aseinu v'avedaseinu b'meshech zman hagolus. What's the difference between ma'aseinu, our actions, and our avedaseinu? Totally b'ma'aseinu, meshech zman hagolus. Because Eved is a level of bittul. A slave is bottled to the master. Not only that, Eved, like we learned, comes from the word ma'abed. Ma'abed means tanning hides. One of the Lamites Malachas is ma'abed, which means tanning hides. Right? Why is tanning hides called the level of the same root as Eved, Ma'abed, right? But an ayin, not an aleph. Ayin is, why is it the same thing? Because what's the concept of an Eved? The real concept of an Eved, in a spiritual sense, means I work on myself to become completely bottled to the master. To the extent, not only when the master tells me to do something, I break myself and I do it. That's a lower level of Eved, called Eved Pashut. Then you reach a higher level of Eved Neman, which means I become so bottled to the master, what he wants is what I want. It's not that I have my own will, I'm breaking myself. I get such bittul that what he wants is what I want. What's the concept of Ma'abed? Tanning hides means you take something coarse, right? You kill it, you shech the animal, then you take it, the hide is coarse. It's not usable. It's full of junk, right? So what's tanning mean? You take those big, heavy-duty combs or whatever, and you work it over. And what do you do when you do Ma'abed? You refine the hide. Now you can make shoes out of it, you can make sefer Torahs out of it. You refine the leather, right? What is Avedaseinu? Avedaseinu means actually refining, taking the coarseness of ourself. Human being is a very coarse, self-centered human being, right? Adam Ayer Peri village. The pasuk says the person is born a wild animal, right? Kids need to be tamed, right? They need to be refined. You have to teach a child how to be nice, how to share, how to not, all the midas that you teach a child to do, right? So that's you working over the hide. Now, when a person does Torah mitzvahs, they're actually refining themselves. I'm not doing what I want, I'm doing what Hashem wants. Right? Sometimes it's a lot of work. I have to break myself not to do what I want to do. And sometimes we reach such a level That if this is what Hashem wants, this is what I want. There's no me. There's no I. And that's the concept of Avedosenu. Aveda in a way of an Eved. That's why we say Avinu Malkeinu. Now Avinu Malkeinu are also opposites. If you're a father, you can't be a king over your own kids. Because the definition of a king means there are foreign subjects that subjugate themselves to the king. Children are an extension of the parents. You can't be a king over your own children because they're not subjects that are subjugating. They're extension of you. Definition of a king is Malchusi B'rotzin Kiblu Aleihim. They willingly accept it. They have to be subjects that subjugate themselves to you. So how do we say Avinu Malkeinu? So if you look, there's Taka Bani Matam Lashem Elokeichem, Avinu, and then there's Kiyad Eved Al Rabbi, like in Tillim we say in Shabbos davening. Yeah, there's a level of Eved. Jews have both milas. Mitzad the Neshama we're Bani Matam Lashem Elokeichem. Mitzad the Guf we're Avodim, foreigners that subjugate themselves because the body is doing what Hashem wants. The Frierdiker Rebbe said that he has an advantage over all the other Chassidim. Chassidim of a Rebbe are not, normally a child it's a child. He says, I am a child and a Chassid. So I've, like Avinu Malkein, I got both levels that the other Chassidim don't have. They only have Chassid, they don't have Ben.
Who said that?
Previous Rebbe. Makes sense? How exciting. Okay, let's go back here.
He's into sense.
Let me tell you why. He broke himself so much to come, to get out of bed. It was mamish, total refinement. So he's able to understand these spiritual... Yeah, but he's still here and they're going. Yeah.
He's asking for the classes for Rabbi. Every single class he has.
Okay. Okay. The Gilui taken that. When will this Gilui, that's higher than Atzilus, will be revealed in Bria? The way are dependent on our actions now. Shaz kol biyah is Atzilus. Biyah will be the Gilui of Atzilus. It means Biyah will be completely bottled to Hashem. What is Gan? It says Gan is Gan Sidorim Deiraisa. How many surgeries are there in Chumash? 53. There's Gan Sidorim. Gracious, right? Okay. And then it says, Nahar Yetzim Eden, the river is going to come from Eden, which is a level of Tainug, higher than Atzilus. Vihishke Sagan is going to water feed Torah. So it means greater revelations into Torah. And then it said, Mishami Pari. Zeltik and Leilam Piri is going to fix. It's watering the garden. What happens when you water the garden? The garden produces. That means the Nahar that he's splitting is coming from Eden, which is Tainuk, which is Kesed, is coming into Lahashkis Sagan to reveal things in Torah, Primis Torah, the secrets of Torah, Umishami Pared, and it's going to separate. That means from there it's going to even elevate the separation of Biyah. It's going to also elevate that to Kedusha. They Yipared said Misham Yipared. Now, what's the root? Peiresh Dalit. That's Pshat Remez Drush. Pshat Remez Drush are the three worlds of Asiya, Yetzira, and Bria. Sod is Atzilus. He said Misham Yipared. Pshat Remez Drush Biyah of Atzilus that comes from the level of Nora now. And that's what it says in Torah. L'chvei di berasi v'yitzartiv afasisiv, like it says in the Ma'alis Tishbit Melech. Okay? So that's what's going to happen when Mashiach comes. Ach inyan tikkun olam atzilus. What is this inyan of atzilus? Sheyor bergili earning saboch mepnimis hatik. Even atzilus is going to be elevated. What's going to happen in atzilus? That the level of kesed, meaning the ultimate infinite level, be revealed in atzilus, aydei pnimis haTorah, that's called sod. Sod Hashem l're'ev. And concerning this tikkun, that atzilus becomes holier. Because not only Bria, atzilus becomes holier because it's revealing from higher than atzilus. It says, V'hein if yodei al hanor, it's going to be a level and the nahar, even higher than the nahar. Shebechim nar yeit mishami po shemaked bi'avet tikkunim. So, okay, how do you rectify atzilus? If atzilus is already bittul, taking atzilus they bechina shelamayl mi'anor anal, which, like he said, from the level of Eden, not the level of nahar that comes from Eden. It comes from a higher level. Zelvi kol shivl and necham. That's why it's going to be split into 7 things, which corresponds with the avis and the imors, which is the level of atzilus. That means there's going to be a gilu in atzilus of a higher than atzilus, the level of Eden, that he said before he quoted the pasuk. Ayin le'ro'asa elokim zelosecha. About Eden, it says, no eye can even see it. But when Mashiach comes, it's going to be arenu neflois.
That the level of Adam Kadmon, like the higher.
Does it really? I don't know. Does it really matter?
But I just want to know, like.
No, it's a keter.
It's going to come from Ika Shechina. It's going to come back. She's even higher than Tzimtzum. I mean,
is it possible, Rabbi, that different people achieve seeing Moshiach at different times? For example, for sure, Rabbi has seen Moshiach.
what do you mean seeing Mashiach? Every Jew has in him a level of Mashiach. By a Rebbe, it's revealed. And I don't know about you, by me it ain't no revealed nothing.
So you're going to see it sooner than probably me. Is
Why?
it possible? I'm just,
Why?
but is it possible?
Maybe you'll see it first. Maybe you'll see it. I don't know.
Maybe it's me, myself, or Moshiach.
Yeah, maybe you're Mashiach.
But is it possible that this concept is not...
Don't hold your breath, though.